All right, this is part two. The other one cut off. I got a phone call of the spring starters. Remember we were making a little greenhouse here, and I finished up all the seeds, the cilantro, and then the tomato were in the last. I put 6 tomato seeds in the last one there, so we'll put. And they were brandy wine, the ones from my grandma. So we'll put brandy wine. We'll put 6 in there, so we know, because they're sitting right next to the cilantro, and that's going to be in the end. So we got it all labeled and everything. Now we got the fun part. This is the fun part. We're going to get all that off and set it in the sink. We don't need our pen anymore, so we'll the Sharpie. So we'll set that over in the sink. And now this is the funnest part right here. When you get to see the end of it, you want to use cling wrap. And the cling wrap you want to use is stuff that's clear, because you want a little bit of the sun or the grow light to shine through, and that will trap the sun or the grow light, the rays and the warmth in there while they're germinating. This is going to germinate them, and while they're little seedlings. I'm going to pull that out gently and go about an extra inch over the end. You want to be gentle with this stuff because it kind of sticks to itself. That's why I call it cling wrap, I guess. Hold on to it gently so you don't get all tangled up. Oh. And we're going to put a few pieces of tape on it. Pull it out. Got a little bit tangled. We're going to put a few pieces of tape on it. But before we do that, we're going to put just a little mist of water. If you have a spray bottle or anything like that, we're just going to put a little bit more water in there. A spray bottle works best. A spray bottle works best, but I'm kind of unprepared, I guess. We're going to put a tiny bit more water in here. And you want, with your spray bottle, you just want to kind of spray it over the top. You might want to wait until you get it. I'm just letting it seep down the side of the glass. Might want to wait until you get it into where it's going to sit. So wait until you get it in your window or wherever you're going to put it. First couple days you want to leave it dark. But after that, you probably don't want to put water in there, because when you're moving it around, the water will come out the bottom there. And you'll get it on your carpet or in your house. So we'll put that on the saran wrap on there nice and square. And take 2 pieces of tape. Don't have to be very big. I use the blue tape again because it's easy to peel off. We're going to put 1 piece down here and put it on there nice and secure. The reason why you want it nice and secure, because we're going to pull this in now nice and tight, and not too tight, but tight enough, and I'll show you in a minute. And that keeps nice and tight, and it's going to keep all, it has to make sure that you have about an inch or so over the edge so the humidity can't escape out of there. So you can just use really small pieces. This blue tape is pretty strong when you match it up with the saran wrap. You don't have to go too crazy. And remember, it's not going to be perfect. That's what we're trying for. There is no such thing as perfect in here. Just getting it done is perfect. Most important part is to have fun with it. I'm trying to get stuff perfect, and you might not have too good of a time. It might take all the fun out of it. It's fun to get it right. There. I'm going to get all your wrinkles out and pull it down. Remember, not too tight, because then it'll come off. So if you get all the wrinkles out of it, make sure it's okay if those corners are sitting up like that. Now I'll show you. I'll switch the camera on and I'll show you how nice and tight that is. See? Now, after you get it, I'll put it under the light for you. After you get you want to put it in a dark room for maybe 2 or 3 days until you see the first plant pop up out of there. And when you see the first plant pop up out of there, like here's a new one right there, you'll see a new little guy. You might not be able to see another one popping up right over there. There's one popping up in there somewhere, right there. As soon as you see a little guy popping out of there, you can go ahead and put it in the sun, or you can wait another day. But you don't want to wait too long to put it in the sun, because they like to get their sun pretty quick. I'll get in close on that one if I can. New piece of basil. Oh, and there's a new tomato right there, that little soldier. New tomato. This is a tomato and a piece of basil together. Sometimes I forget where I'm at. There's a tomato. You're gonna see the difference between the tomato and the basil are, my finger, on the tomato they have the nice long kind of pointed leaves. The basil, you can see those are really easy to identify. They're nice and round leaves like that. Tomato. And this one's maybe too early to identify. Right there, maybe I can zoom. No. Isn't that cool how you can see right up close on this dirt? Let's take a look at this little tiny guy down in the soil. Look at that. Nice. First signs of life right there. Like amazing. Here's a close-up of the basil leaves too. This is a really cool. Watch this. Can't hold still. Look at that. Really amazing. Let's take a look at these zinnias over here. Zinnias there. Look at that, how close you can get to those leaves. Isn't that cool? You can see the veins in the leaves. It's amazing, isn't it? Look at that. What a nice camera. Look at that. You can even see a little bit of fuzz on the end there. I'm not sure what that's called. These are petunias right here. They got rounder leaves. Those are going to be fun. Look at their seed husks right there. That's his seed husk left over. Or hers, I guess. And there's another one right there still stuck on the leaf. See? That's the shell that they come in. See, you can probably sometimes, you want to be careful. You don't usually want to do this. Sometimes you can flick it up. Oh, I got it off. It's over there somewhere. Let's see what else. Yep, there's another one. They're fun to find those. Here's another one. Let's see if I can show you that one. Right there. Right there. Sometimes we like to hang on for a little while longer. But either way, it's really fun to look at those. Really fun to look at those leaves. The garden is a lot of fun to watch them grow. This basil plant, remember we planted this basil on the videos maybe 2 or 3 months ago, maybe more, and they're doing great. I already planted some of these outside. I just keep cutting them off, making pesto out of them. So you can see down here where I kind of cut it off right here. If you cut it off right before I'll show you how to cut them off too. If you cut them off right before there, you cut it off, then they'll go ahead and grow 2 of these out. So if I'm gonna cut, like say I'm gonna cut something off of this one here, I would cut it probably right there, because a little piece of dirt on my finger. Got dirt on my hands. I'm playing around, coconut. I would cut it right there. If I cut it up there, then this will grow out more. See down here? I cut it right there, and that grew into a branch, and that grew into a new branch. So the same thing would happen right here. If I cut it right there, that'll grow into new branches. Let's see. Really fun. Let's see. Yeah, here's another example right there. I cut that one off, and it grew into new branches. Another one back in there. That was our previous example back in there. Cut that one off. So you can use these for a long time. Look, this is a perfect example where to cut it off right there. And you want to be careful, because these are getting kind of older and they're going to start flowering. So when they flower, you want to cut that whole end off, and you could probably save them, because when they're big, the leaves are nice and big and round. Remember how nice they were earlier on. When the leaves are nice and big and round and smooth, that's when it tastes the best. But when they start getting sharp and pointed, like kind of a pointed end, like that zinnia there, then they don't taste good anymore, and they're kind of the end of their life cycle. That usually happens around, if you remember, that usually happens around maybe September or October, if you remember when we used to make a lot of basil. So after we, getting back to our project here, I like to chat. After we get our saran wrap on there tomorrow morning, you'll see a lot of humidity on the lid. Like, see all that? That's all the humidity, and that's what they like when they're young. That's all the humidity coming up from the soil. So it's going to get nice and warm in there, and that will kind of evaporate, but still stay within the confines of your saran wrap. And the reason why this one is so tall, see, some of them are smaller. This one's so tall because sometimes you want them to grow a lot further before you put them outside, and you can leave them in there and let them grow. That's why in here, if you remember, in here we only filled it about halfway up with soil. Let me turn the camera around for you. We only filled it about halfway up with the coconut stuff because they don't need much root space. So we only filled it halfway up, and they can grow further, and we can still leave them inside there. So that's a really good idea. You can use this saran wrap method on anything. You can use it on a bowl. You can even use it on one of the cereal bowls or something like that, or a bucket, something shallow usually. You can, but you don't want to get a lot of. It's better to use this flower box because the water kind of settles down to the bottom and it keeps it separate from getting too wet. But I expect, by the way these zinnias were growing and this basil's growing, I expect probably in a couple weeks, maybe a week or two, we'll be able to put all these plants outside, and it'll be warm enough by then too. It's about down to 50 degrees or so at night right now. So yeah, it'll be fun. I think I'm going to do another one today. It's kind of fun, and I got some coconuts that's left, so I think I'm going to do another one and keep planting my seeds. I hope you two are doing good, and I hope you're having a good day and doing good with your school. And it looks like I got company, so I'm gonna go. I love you two very much. I hope you're doing great. I'm always thinking of you.